When I rise before this chamber, like many of you here, it's because I feel strongly about the issue at hand. I've spoken out because I'm angry at something I see happening, or I'm disappointed about an opportunity missed. Today, for the second time in 6 months, I rise because I'm actually embarrassed by what I see happening here today. Let's review. The last time an extreme special interest wrote one of your amendments, it resulted in the Republican majority's ridiculous attempt to give a license to bully to kids who brutally harass and torment schoolmates so long as they invoke a strongly held religious or moral belief. I'm sure you all recall the international rebuke that was brought upon Republicans in this chamber and in this state. And yet here we are again. Deja vu all over again, as Yogi Berra would say. Republican language added to a one-year higher education budget bill at the last minute seeks to penalize a world-class university doing world-class medical research that 2.5 million voters in Michigan explicitly permitted when they adopted Proposal 2 of 2008. This research, mind you, is heralded as the most promising medical advancement ever. And rather than embrace our universities and propel them forward toward cures, you choose to pander to special interest fanatics who seek to handcuff researchers and regress us to the dark ages. So congratulations for being consistent. There are no rules, apparently, that the Republican majority is unwilling to change, whether it be to bail out a financially inept brother of the Republican Party chair, to reach back and gerrymander Oakland County Commission seats, or in this case, to try to rewrite the Constitution in favor of a special interest, still smarting from 2.5 million Michiganders choosing hope over fear. My amendment would simply remove this misguided language that was added at the last minute in committee. Language that was added when the subcommittee chair, after publicly stating that she wanted to keep politics out of the budget, somehow went on to reason that additional reporting requirements on universities are compelled because she believes that life begins at conception. The senator from the 20th District has the right to believe anything she wants to believe. However, it may come as news. But the cutting-edge research done at University of Michigan has nothing to do with the act of procreating. 2.5 million Michigan voters understood that when they overwhelmingly adopted Proposal 2. Yet as we sit here today, one very powerful special interest group is doing everything in its power to prevent, to restrict, to obstruct, to discourage, and to create disincentives to the cutting-edge research for cures. This is the very reason that the voters felt compelled to sidestep this body and say, we're going to do this research and find cures here in Michigan. But Right to Life was not elected to set policy in this state. You were. And you were elected to stand up to special interests, not to lay down for them. You swore to uphold the Constitution on our first day here when you were sworn in. So let's take this opportunity to remind voters why this body is different than the House. Let's remind them that policy can still win out over politics sometimes, that the Constitution is paramount to petty political ploys. And let's instill some confidence once again that their senators can discuss and negotiate, and in the end, agree on the best way to move Michigan forward. You and I both know that the punitive language Right to Life inserted in this budget should not stand. We have world-class institutions of higher education in Michigan. They're a major driver of our economic development in this state, with a history of incredible breakthroughs in science and medicine. In fact, just yesterday, the University of Michigan announced a major breakthrough using stem cell research in the fight against a disorder that leaves children and adults with muscle degeneration in their arms and legs. Yet instead of thanking University of Michigan or celebrating this exciting news, the Republican majority is condemning them with this budget. With all the governor's talk about economic gardening, let's resist the temptation to bury this thriving industry 6 feet under and embrace the future of medical research. I ask for your support of this amendment. I ask that you please rethink what message you want to send to the world. Does this legislature pick hope over fear? Do we want a thriving economy that embraces science and research? Do we want vibrant universities known throughout the world? The answer, I hope, is yes to all of those questions, and that means the answer to this amendment, I hope, is yes as well. Thank you, Mr. President.